Hey, you. Yeah, you. How's it going? I got something to show you, man. Come here. Come here. I'm gonna show you a little thing called DankPods. If you know about the DankPods channel, you're covered for this video. But for those of you who don't know him, DankPods is an Australian nugget boy who loves drumming, headphones, and electronic devices. Electronic devices like a device you probably heard of. The entire iPod lineup! For me, my iPod world started when a friend of mine gave me his old iPod, around 2018, and I didn't know it at the time, but it was a 7th generation iPod classic. Thanks to DankPods, I now know that these are legendary. I still got it, I still have it. Over, where the flip is it? Here's a picture I took of it a while ago because I can't find it. I put a red front cover over it because, it's pretty cool looking. I just remember loading it with 50 or so songs back in the day and being super excited to listen to them. And once they would get boring, I would just add another 50 songs and it would just be the funnest thing ever. It wasn't until a year later that I discovered Mr. Dank's channel. So I had this iPod for a year and a half before the DankPods channel even existed. And I was convinced to open the device only 3 months after I started watching his videos. I would just like to come out here and say that I am a real fan of the DankPods channel. I started to watch their videos back when they were new. Back in 2019, I was at the computer lab at our school. Oh man, YouTube was such a distracting thing back in those glory days. And it still is. The first video of his that I saw was the 1 terabyte iPod video. I just remember thinking, Apple sold a 1 terabyte iPod? But no, this was just a video where Wade did a mod on the iPod to make it a terabyte. I was hooked the first time I saw his channel. His videos were just, freaking captivating, bro. Like, I would sit through 5 of them without even realizing it. Time would just fly by while watching his videos, man. I remember when this was his most recent video, bro. I'm a real fan, okay? Yeah. Then somewhere in November, after saving up $200 of tips for my job as a carpet cleaner, I bought a 7th generation iPod Touch. And let me freaking tell you, dude, I love that device. I still have it Beth, what are you doing? Stop eating that! This is it. I named it the Zigpig machine because, it was like a big secret, and in my special Cortanian language, Zigpig means secret. Like the Z is an S and the I is an E. You get the point. I loved it. It was the coolest thing ever. I played games on it all the time at school. I watched a million YouTube videos and that was probably the funnest time ever in my online life. Then I lost it like an idiot and I was depressed for the rest of the year. But through all those sad times without my iPod Touch, I always had that old iPod Classic. It seemed like it was always there for me, man. And the battery flipping never died, so that was cool. I would even watch YouTube videos on it if I went through the effort of downloading and transferring them to the iPod. But, well, it's not really a good idea these days unless you have no other video playing device. But back then, it was really all that I had, man. Other than the computers I would use at school, that iPod Classic was my everything. I would fill it up with loads of music. Man, it had a good 160 gigabytes. I'd play tons of solitary. And I'd watch tons of YouTube videos on it. Just so you guys know, I did not have a phone during this period. There was a time where some guy was mad at me for something, and he screamed at me to give him my phone. I don't know, he was probably going to throw it at the ground. But I only had my iPod Classic, and there's no way I was going to give him that, bro. Flippin', I just got done downloading 10 unwatched YouTube videos onto it, and I was not going to let him watch all of them. I've probably watched through 90% of all the DankPod videos on that device. I did it like a passion. I would download a load of Mr. Dank's videos at a time, put them on my iPod Classic, and then when I was bored or didn't have access to a computer, I would watch them, So like, I'd be sitting in the hall at my school, watching a video of a guy playing Doom on his iPod from my iPod. It was great. But as fun as this iPod Classic was, it just couldn't get me to stop thinking about my lost iPod Touch, which is why I'm super jealous of the new iPod Classic video, the one where Wade got his decked out 7th gen iPod Touch, the exact same kind that I lost. I'm so freaking mad that I lost mine! But hey, at least I'm better than him when it comes to opening iPod Classics. Wade would say that the 6th and 7th generations are the hardest to get inside of, but all you gotta do is grab a butter knife from your kitchen and pry it open with all the power in your soul. Not so bad. One of the amazing things that DankPods brought me was the history of the iPod product lineup, which, started in the year 2001, 2 years before I was born. We're talking about a product that is older than me, guys. What? The most interesting part about this timeline for me is the 2012s, when the most popular iPod was the 4th generation iPod Nano. This guy. I remember people having these all over the place. It looked super cool back then. It still does. The thing about that iPod and 2012 is that it was sort of mixed into this category of all the popular stuff from the time. Stuff like Minecraft, good old mobile games, early YouTube, Xbox 360, I don't know, just a lot of good nostalgia, you know what I mean? Before I went through and discovered Wade's videos, these times were all cluttered up and hard for me to understand from my 9-year-old memories, and DankPods really helped me to untangle them, This was sort of the time where my long-term memory started to kick in full speed, and these videos really helped me to better understand my own self. And dude, did you know that iPods are the reason podcasting is even a thing? People used to download these audio broadcasts onto their old iPods, and that's where the name came from. And flipping the iPhone wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the iPod. A portable device like that, iPods did a whole lot for the electronic industry. Okay. Now I'm just talking about iPods. This video is supposed to be about DankPods, but I guess that's why his channel resonates so well with so many people. iPods and music in general is such a universal genre. Mr. Wade DankPods brought the old iPods back, man. Now they're much more of an antique. Before the DankPods channel existed, and Wade said this himself, iPods were cheap, man. Imagine having this big of an impact on a device like this. That's crazy. Now because of DankPods, they're expensive. Wade did cause the prices of most iPods to raise because of how popular his videos of them became. Hold on. I'm just editing the video now, and I guess when I was doing the script for this part of the video, I assumed I would be able to go to Google Trends, put DankPods and iPod up against each other, and I guess I thought that the iPod trend would go up a little more after DankPods became a thing. But now I'm looking at this now, and it looks like iPods they're dying, guys. What? I thought this whole iPod world thing was like a lot more popular than it really is. Oh man. I guess this part in the video I was gonna start talking about how DankPods popularized most iPods, but there is still a category of iPods that he hasn't really touched on. A group of iPods that is still cheap on eBay. An iPod group that I believe possesses a lot of potential to be a big thing. Maybe. Did you guess what iPod I'm talking about? You did? It's the Shuffle. The Shuffle? What? No, what the freak? No, dude. Those things don't even have a screen, dang it. No, it's the good old iPod Touch that has this potential, man. I'm talking about the 4th generation iPod Touches. You see, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd iPod Touches didn't ever get as much demand, and so Apple hasn't really produced a lot of them, so, they're sort of an antique. Therefore, they are expensive. And the 5th, 6th, and 7th generation iPod Touches, well, they are a lot better in quality, so, those are a lot more expensive. However, the 4th generation was a super popular device, which means there are a lot of them sitting around in people's old junk drawers, and right now they are cheap, real cheap. I'm talking you can get one of them for $5. 5! Some listings on eBay go for even less. I've even bought a lot of 30 that cost me only $15. 30 devices for $15. That's 50 cents a piece, man. Okay, yeah, some of them didn't work, but you can put some parts together and get a few decent devices out of all the broken ones. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, yeah, these are cheap, and there are a lot of them, but aren't they incompatible? I mean, they're just like old iPhones that don't really work with the new software. And that brings me to my next point. We jailbreak all the 4th generation iPod Touches. The jailbreaking community has provided the possibility of changing the device's framework. This means we can maybe add an emulator, import all of Windows, or something to bring back the life of these old machines. They'll be able to run new and old software. And if they run slow, we can just open them up and change the graphics card? What the frick? We'll figure out a way to make them run smoothly. My point is, Mr. DankPod guy saw that the old spin wheel iPods were cheap on the marketplace. He bought a few, went around fixing and modding them, and now that's become a popular thing. Now, I'm pointing out the fact that these 4th generation iPod Touches are cheap right now, and they have about the same potential to come back and, I don't know, be a cool thing or something. I'm just throwing that out there. Also, I think it's kind of funny how Wade's desk is arranged. He's got his pork cells, his duck, his sausages. Let's not forget about the one all that cool stuff. It reminds me of my own desk, man. How it's never cleaned off. It's just, got a little space for me to do a little bit of work, Also, here's a picture of his setup from a new angle. How did I get this picture? It was totally through legal and non-creepy means. I totally didn't use any advice from the last video about how to make friends and break into his house. Another thing, I think that the Scarlet Fire song that he uses is gosh dang amazing. It gives me the best boogie dancer vibes. Plus, it's non-copyright. So, that song really is a vibe, man. I'll probably have to do another video where I show you guys my iPod collection. Recently, I got myself one of these 7th generation iPod Nanos. The one that's got a touch screen. Is it an iPod Touch or is it a Nano? What? Man, I really can ramble about DankPods for a while. I really love them, man. End card time. Also recently, I had an awesome individual support me on Patreon. Yeah, this was the only one. Love that. Here's a doodle I did for him. Pretty cool. Also, here's some wonderful fan art that I got from a member in the Discord. It's a GIF. Pretty cool. If you guys want to put some fan art over there, that's what I'm talking about. And huge shout out to our bot genius, Fauna, who really knows what's up even when I keep breaking things on accident. By now, the Discord has a mind of its own, and I honestly don't know what's going on over there anymore. I don't even really know all the mods these days, but it's all good, I guess. It's still a great little community. I show up every once in a while. You might see me over there. Just please don't say anything weird. That's not good. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. Let me know if you know about DankPods, any of your cool iPod experiences, and just anything in general, please. And I will see you. Have a day.